back to the channel, and this is going to be a quick review on the LG G6. So this phone was made back in 2017. It runs on Android 8.0, and in my opinion, it's an amazing phone, and definitely worth considering in 2019. So let's get started. This phone was released back in 2017, it has a Snapdragon 821 processor, a fingerprint sensor that's actually really fast. If I just touch it, it's really fast. And in my opinion, this is just a great phone, and definitely worth considering in 2019. It has an 18:9 bezel-less display, which is quite different from a similar phone, the Galaxy S7 Edge. It's a really good display. It's a 1440p screen, great colors, and great viewing angles, viewing angles as you can see. The glass back is super nice. It has a great texture, and it just feels really premium in your hand. It's just glass and metal, and it just feels really good in your hand. Much better than a Samsung phone, or even an iPhone, I guess. An older iPhone, but still. It's an amazing phone. So I'm just gonna do a couple tests, maybe a Geekbench score, and a comparison with some other similar phones, like the Galaxy S7 Edge, and some other phones, I guess. So let's just start a test. So I've turned off both of these phones, and then I turned them on. So the power button on this phone is over here, and the power button is on the back. G6 ThinQ and the S7 Edge. And if I just wait for it, this phone looks like it's gonna win, as it's all around the Samsung logo, and LG logo. This phone actually did win by just a couple seconds, which is really good for a phone. At least for an LG phone, since LG phones are infamous for not having software support and are pretty slow. This phone is really good, actually. Next, I'm going to do a Geekbench score, and I'm going to compare it with the S7. So here's the LG G6 Geekbench score. It's 8,518, compared against some other devices like the G5, much better, V20, G Flex 2, and all the way down to the Optimus 4X HD or whatever. It's just a pretty good phone, and 8,000 is a respectable score, and it's not as good as, let's say, my iPhone XS, but it's still pretty good. And the final thing I really like about this phone is the price. So on eBay, if you search up LG G6, you can usually get this phone for around $100, which is really crazy, or about maybe $115 if you look for a good condition one. And that's really crazy for this phone, since LG phones are known to depreciate a lot, and this phone is just an amazing value for $100. It has two really good cameras, but I think both of them are how much are they? I think 13 megapixels and 13 megapixels are really good cameras, a bright flash, fast fingerprint sensor, wireless charging, glass back, and basically all the features that you expect from a flagship that's only a couple years old. And a really good thing about this is that it's actually going to get Android 9.0, which is the latest Android version. It's going to get it in a couple, maybe, I'm guessing it's going to get it in June, Android 9. And for $100, this is a really good phone, and definitely better than any other budget options of phones. So this is probably better than the Moto G5 Plus or the G6, as it's better quality, it has wireless charging, and all the features of a flagship. And it's also faster, way faster than both of those phones, like the G5 Plus or the Xiaomi Mi A1 or any of the other cheap phones. And in conclusion, the LG G6 is definitely a good phone in 2019. I could totally use the main phone for a long time, and it's just a great phone, and I'd highly recommend buying one if you have the money. And if you have maybe $200, I'd recommend a G7, or if you have $300, I'd recommend a V40, as the V40 is the newest LG phone, or at least one of the newest LG phones, and for $100, the G6 is a great phone. So thanks for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe down below. Peace. Oh, and one last thing. And the thing I really hate about this phone, in particular, not all LG G6s, but this phone is an Amazon Prime Edition and has so much Amazon bloatware on it, which really sucks. And like, if I were to sign into my Amazon account, I'd have ads on the lock screen, which really sucks. So if you buy an LG G6, just don't go for the Amazon Prime Edition. It might be a little bit cheaper, but like, just don't buy it. It's just a really bad edition, and just gives you a bunch of Amazon bloatware and stuff you don't really want. So thanks for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe down below, and peace.